Oh, wow. Wrong screen. What's up, everybody? Welcome to System Preppers Live. I'm David Wilson, and today we're back with another live stream where we get together as a community and talk about whatever topic I've come up with for the week, and this week is no exception. Let's see. Let me make sure I can see everyone in the chat here today. I'll say hello first to people who are in the YouTube chat. Gun, Scott, Raul, Slalom Skater, Michael. Hello, folks. Nice to see you. Also on the IRC side, we have Gun again, Glenn, Christine, Cal, and that's it for now. And hello to Craig and Bob in the YouTube chat. We'll see if we get some more folks showing up today. Hello, Judy. Haven't seen you in a while. I was wondering about you, actually, the other day, because I haven't seen you in the chat, but maybe you're hanging out in the Matrix. I haven't been in the Matrix in a while. Is this thing flying away? Well, yeah, it's already done. Whatever. So yes, I was trying to cover a minor unsightly blemish on my face here. Like, you know, sometimes you get like a small pimple on your face, and this is great conversation for this channel. You get a small pimple on your face, and then something happens, and it turns into some kind of monstrosity. Well, that happened to me this week. You would think that I'm, 16 years old, with skincare issues, but I guess you're never too old to have pimples. Yes, Raul, we definitely get the joke. We're ping-ponging in the YouTube chat. Naokatani says, this is now a dermatology stream. Yes, if there's any dermatologists in the house, please let me know if I need to go see a doctor. Just kidding. Scott says, we got to get those fruit-shaped stickers the gals are wearing for the pimples. I haven't seen those. Hello to Thanos, Talos, Fade. All right. So for those of you in the YouTube chat, if you want to use, a superior, or maybe in other words, a archaic or arcane chat format, you can join irc.libra.chat, IRC, and join the System Crafters live channel. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying if you want to. Right now, that's the only way your chats show up on the screen in the stream. But that will change soon. Soon we'll be having some opportunities to do some nice live coding and maybe get some of that chat goodness from the other platforms pulled into the overlay. Oh, Fade says there's a Twitch commercial. Great. Yeah, I don't have control over that, and I don't actually see when it's happening. Hello to Trev, Linux, and Vizel. Talo says the arcane ways must be known to all. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you got to try IRC at some point. All right, let's see. Interesting things to mention. I spent most of the day working on the next chapter of the hands-on Guile Scheme for beginners course material for the current iteration, because I'm basically re-recording and remaking all the content after the first iteration, and it's turning out really nice, but it's taking a lot of time. Scott says, what's the IRC link? Go to systemcrafters.net/live, and then you'll get the info on that. Let me check the... Okay, looks like the video's fine. Judy says, I mean, we're almost at IRC and Twitch chat, just worse in a lot of ways. Yes, that's true. Twitch chat is effectively IRC, if you didn't know that. Fade says, usually only at the beginning before it lets you join. Okay, that's good at least. Okay, let's get into the news. So first of all, the next iteration of the hands-on Guile Scheme for Beginners course, the April iteration or edition, is now open for registration. I opened it last week. I think I mentioned it on the stream last week, but I'll mention it again. This is the third time that I'm running the course, and this is the stabilization, I guess you could call it, of the course and the material. Like the second iteration was expanding on the first one and making it a lot better and making pre-recorded videos with a more solid flow than the first iteration, which was all just live streams. So now the third iteration is basically going to be, benefiting from all the work done in the previous two iterations. So I think it's going to be very nice for those who join, who want to learn about Guile Scheme. And if you go to the page, it has all the details about this iteration, all the things that are a part of the course. I should probably give the real table of contents of what's in the course, because why is this not loading? Oh, because I do have that now. It's pretty much locked in. But go check out the page for more information about that. There's live Q&A sessions. There's 4 live Q&A sessions that are available to you for asking questions, chatting with other people in the course. And the schedule for that is here. But the live sessions are optional. Mainly, it's a pre-recorded course with written material, copious written material, and then the live Q&A and the forum are an added part of it, so that you can communicate with me and the other people in the course. And it's a real good time. We have a good time there. So there is a 10% discount on registration until 6 a.m. UTC on Monday, April 15th. That's next Monday. So this upcoming Monday, let's say. So if you want to take advantage of that, jump on that before then. The course actually starts next Saturday, so April 20th. So basically, the first chapter of material will drop then, and you'll have access to it. And then a week later is when the first live Q&A session begins, so that we can talk about the material that has been covered so far. Raul says, what about student-organized tutor sessions? I still haven't thought about that very much yet, but it is an interesting idea. Let's see. I feel like I'm missing something on the screen here. Talo says, become a schemer and live a geek's life. Yes. All right. So another useful bit of news is that Guile Hoot 0.4 has been released. So I've talked about Guile Hoot many times on this channel this year. Guile Hoot is the scheme to WebAssembly compiler that is being developed by the Sprightly Institute. And this is a pretty important release. This is the first release where user-authored modules are supported. Previously, all of your Lisp code had to be in one big scheme file. Now, there are ways to include other scheme files into your source file and maybe break up your code into separate modules, sort of. But it didn't really work the way that you would expect it to as a scheme programmer. Now, Hoot actually supports the ability to write modules and load them into your program, and then all those modules get compiled into the WebAssembly file that can be loaded up into the browser and executed. Also, the standard library for Scheme now also is set up as a collection of importable modules. So you can use the R7RS standard library effectively in the R7RS small, not large, just R7RS small, the minimal version of the approved version of the R7RS specification. That is now available in Hoot, which is great. There's some other stuff that was pretty interesting here. Some improvements to basically undelimited continuations, call with current continuation. Some mathematical improvements. There was something else I saw. Oh, the ability to have actual scheme stack traces whenever there's an error. So previously, and this is something that I experienced while using Guile Hoot in the... Is there any music playing? It sounds like it stopped. Anyway, whenever I use Hoot for the Autumn Lisp Game Jam, one of the things that was sometimes a little bit difficult to deal with is that whenever you hit an error in your scheme code, it gives you this cryptic WebAssembly stack trace instead of giving you a scheme stack trace. So now that's actually fixed. You get a scheme stack trace whenever you hit a scheme runtime error. So you'll be able to see that, I think, in the... Benoit says wrong music. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. You'll get a scheme stack trace, presumably in the console. I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't tried it, so that's what I expect it to happen. But that's a big improvement, and I'm looking forward to using that in the upcoming Spring Lisp Game Jam. So we'll take a look at that in a few weeks. But as always, Hoot is available in Guix, the Guix package manager. That's probably the best place to install it from because you have all the dependencies and everything ready for you. So go ahead and install Guix if you don't have it already, or at least the package manager in your Linux distro of choice, and then use Guix install or Guix shell to install Guile Next and Guile Hoot, and you'll be off to the races. What else? So another cool community effort that's been going on recently is Shom has set up the System Crafters Crafter Ring, which is basically a web ring for blogs or websites in the System Crafters universe, let's say. It's mainly for people who are in the community who want to link their website to other websites people who hang out in the System Crafters community and talk about things that are related to what we talk about in this channel and on IRC discussion forum, etc. If you would like to have your website linked into this web ring, you can come to this repo on Codeberg and send a PR. Showem has instructions on how to do everything there. You can check out the actual website for the craft ring at craftering.systemcrafters.net, which then redirects to Showem's website. We got a little bit of infrastructure work to set up there, but you can see the folks who have been set up so far. Basically just links to their blogs. And if you go to anyone's blogs, let's say we have to go to Trev's blog here. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you can see there's this little craftering link at the bottom with left and right arrows. So if you click the next arrow, it will bring you to the next person in the blog ring, which apparently is Glenneth's website. So if you go down at the bottom, you can click right again, and then it will take you to someone else's website. This is Christopher's website. So it's pretty cool. It's a way to make it easy to jump to other people's blogs in the System Crafters community. So if you want to, be a part of that, then go to that craftering repo and follow the instructions, and Showem or I or anyone else in the community can help get you onboarded there, and then your website will be a part of it. So yeah, that's thanks to Showem for setting that up. That's a really cool thing, I think, for folks to join in on. Another cool project, and also it's a place to maybe get your first pull request into an open source project. That happened actually this week. So definitely, if you haven't done that before, this is an opportunity. Trev says, thanks Showem and LeftPad. Yes, LeftPad is to blame for anything that goes wrong, and Showem is to blame for anything that goes right in this project. Linux says, nice hat. Yes, soon those hats will be available for everyone, but I've been busy. Let's see. Thalo says, I do like web rings, makes discovery so much easier than having to search in Google. Yeah, for sure. Gun says, does the website have to be crafted in org mode? No, I think that a few of them are Hugo blogs that aren't done with org mode. So it's any kind of static website blog system or dynamic blog system. Doesn't have to be static website. It can be whatever you want, so long as you can put a little HTML snippet at the bottom of your page. That will be enough to get you hooked into the matrix. All right, so also want to call out that the System Crafters newsletter issue number 9 is out. If you aren't subscribed to that, go to the systemcrafters.net/newsletter and sign up with your email address. Otherwise, you can check out this link to the text version of the newsletter. It's probably the longest one I've written. I had a lot to say this time. But the email version has a better looking HTML version. I'll probably have all this stuff in the RSS feed soon. I just haven't gotten back to it yet. But at least for now, the email version is better. But this is also pretty nice too. This is actually generated from an org mode file, by the way, which is kind of cool. So I was, a few different things of note in here. One is that I'm talking about the new iteration of the course. Also, my thoughts on Void Linux, because I've been experimenting with Void Linux. Had a little bit of confusion on this topic. People started to get the impression that I'm not going to be using Guix anymore. That's not accurate. That's not correct. I'm just experimenting with another Linux distribution because I'm trying to find a secondary distribution to recommend to people if they don't want to go all the way into Guix. If you look at the newsletter, I give my criteria for what it is that I'm looking for in a craftable distribution. There's a whole list of things here, and I sort of just give my experience with Void so far as a distribution that ticks some of those boxes. I'm not 100% settled on this as the alternative or secondary distribution yet, but so far I'm pretty happy with what I see as far as the technology is concerned. So I'll probably be doing some more stuff with Void soon, maybe talking about it more on some streams or working on some projects related to Void. But we'll see. I don't know. It may change. But to get back to the original point, I'm not leaving Guix. I'm not going to stop recommending Guix. Guix is the ultimate distribution for system crafting because it allows you to make a repeatable configuration or a reproducible configuration written with code, customized however you want, and then you can deploy it any way you want. So to me, it's the best. But as I discussed in this article, there are reasons why it's not the best for everyone, and I want to find another one to try and to promote. So we're looking at Void for a little bit for that reason. Anything else in here? I'm talking about I'm going to have some more regular live streams soon. there's a lot of things I want to do regarding projects and just things I want to investigate. And I think live streams would be a good way to do that. So I'll probably be streaming somewhere between 3 to 5 times a week. It really depends on how well it goes. And when I say how well it goes, I'm sure the streams themselves will go well. It's just a matter of whether my day-to-day schedule can tolerate streaming 3 to 5 days a week. I would love to do it because I think it would be a lot of fun and a lot of stuff will come out of it. So that's probably going to start after I get back from Libra Planet. Probably on, what did I say here? Did I miss it? Yeah, I might do it starting May 13th. So that's about a month from now. So if you're interested in joining up on those streams, the likelihood is they'll probably be in the afternoon for me in Athens, Greece time, which means that it might be too early for people on West Coast North America, which is unfortunate, but I can't stream at this time every day because this is like, the time when all my family is home and people need to eat dinner and get ready for bed and this kind of thing. So Fridays will be the same, like this. Like this scheduled time won't change, but the other days of the week will be a bit different. But they'll be longer too, probably 3 to 4 hours each stream. So we'll see if I, gradually deteriorate into madness from doing that, or if a lot of cool stuff comes out of it. I really want to do a lot of, live coding and sort of explaining my thought process and maybe, moving some things forward on community projects. A lot of cool stuff. I think it's going to be fun. So definitely keep an eye on that whenever it comes. I'll let you know for sure. Let's see. Let me get back to the chat. Scott says, do you still have the job at the large multinational corporation or have you gone full crafter? I am not currently employed, which is good for me. Not necessarily good for my bank account, but it's good for me because I get a lot of time to focus on things. But still, it's not enough time, like there's too many things to do. I have to be very conscious of how I spend my time, and it's difficult sometimes, but I think, things are going well. Benoit says, like any crafter would do, experiment, break things, and learn. Yeah, I mean, it's really necessary to experiment with new tools and maybe learn different techniques or strategies you haven't thought of before. I mean, I'm pretty bought into the Guix way of doing things, but there are other ways to do things when it comes to deploying and configuring Linux systems, either desktop systems or server systems. So I want to experiment with some other ideas so that maybe I can bring some of those ideas some way into Guix or into my own project built on top of Guix or whatever. There's a lot of ways we could do this. Talo says Void is cool, very fast. Yeah, that is one nice thing about Void is that the boot up is fast. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much to me because I reboot my computers probably, I don't know, maybe once a week. The only reason why I have to do that is because anytime I unplug my computer from the dock and close the lid, when I reopen the lid, I can't replug to the dock because the screen doesn't come back on. There's something with the kernel, I want to say. Maybe power management. Not exactly sure what it is, but it's really annoying. But other than that, I would probably never reboot because there's no reason. Like, my system is so stable that I literally don't have to reboot unless I update the kernel. Scott says live streaming his descent into madness. Yeah, that's sort of likely. Mike D says, question about reproducibility. Couldn't a similar outcome be attained with system management tools like, say, Ansible? Yes, but I feel like Ansible isn't as good for like a personal configuration. I mean, people do that. People use Ansible and other tools like Ansible, like Chef and SaltStack, etc., for doing personal system configuration management. But I don't know. I feel like it's not as straightforward, but that said, I haven't really used Ansible, so I can't tell you for sure. Hello to Pi the Sailor. And Jeff is in the chat. Nice to see you, Jeff. And Einar. Let's see. Benoit says, Ansible scripts you create today would most likely not work in 5 years. With Geeks and Nicks, they would if you capture the channel version. That's true. Jeff says, freezing install packages depending on the repos they pull from is as simple as specifying the version. Oh, okay, so basically you can do that with Ansible, sounds like. And Saboto says it's hard to beat Lispy languages for configuration. I prefer it, for sure. It's just elegant, what can I say? Amir in the YouTube chat says, I like Guix a lot, especially the full source bootstrap thing. The only problem I face is a lack of packages. Tried it a couple years ago. Not sure how the situation is now. It's probably the same. One thing that was, I would say, a benefit to me to the lack of packages or lack of copious amount of packages in Guix is that it gave me a reason to try to reduce the number of pieces of software that I'm using for my configuration and really figure out what not the minimal set is, but a drastically minimized set is compared to what I used to use. And I'm still on that path. I'm trying to minimize even further, but I feel like with Guix, you have enough to do a lot if you use your computer in a certain way. You can also use, full-blown desktop environments like GNOME and KDE. I'm not sure about KDE entirely, but definitely GNOME. But I think it's worth experimenting with a more minimal configuration to try to see what you can live without, especially if you use Emacs and you can do a lot of the same things in Emacs with built-in packages or community packages. Let's say you don't need a file manager in Linux. You can use Dired for that. Am I pronouncing that right? Dired? Dired. Directory editor? Dired? I'm just going to say Dired. I don't care. So things like that, task management, calendar, email, file management, chat programs. Most of what you would want to do can probably be done in Emacs. So unless you are working at a job where you have to use a bunch of graphical applications or Electron-based applications, which you can still do obviously with Flatpak or whatever, you can probably do most of what you do in Emacs. And you don't really need a bunch of other graphical apps unless you just like the way they look and it makes you feel nice whenever you look at your really nice looking desktop environment. I understand that because I've also been that way at times. It looks nice when you have cool looking graphical apps. GTK apps look pretty nice to me. However, I prefer the simplicity and minimalism, I suppose, of using a more text-focused interface. So for me, it works out pretty well, but I can see how for other people it wouldn't work as well. Talo says, if you need more packages on Guix, you can install Nix or Flatpak or Docker. I would say Flatpak is probably the best option. Using Nix is certainly possible, but it kind of sucks to have to do that. It would be better if you could just have the same stuff in Guix. Docker, yeah, I use Docker a fair amount too. Hello to Zoli in the YouTube chat. Judy says, I used to use Ansible. It's a bit overkill, but it did have the advantage of allowing me to set up my old laptop over SSH without touching it. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Let's see. Mike D says, just from a system in perspective, 5 years and a system has gone EOL'd. Well, I don't know, if you use Guix and, with the right set of software, the same machine can last you a long time because you're not really maxing out the resources with a bunch of extraneous stuff that, takes up a lot of space and eats all your RAM and CPU. But I don't know. Void is similar too, because I would say Void is even more minimal than what you can do with Guix because the init manager, run it, is pretty nice, pretty small, minimal, simple. And there's not a whole lot of stuff going on by default. You can turn things on, if you want to, but you don't have to have it. Hello to Boo in the YouTube chat. Boo says, I've gotten Podman to work nicely as well. Podman is pretty nice. I've started using it, and it's nice not to have to use sudo to start containers. Amir says it should be possible to convert Nix derivations to Guix, right? Well, sure. If you had a derivation file directly, maybe. But Guix works at the level of scheme-based package and service definitions. So I don't think you can just use a derivation directly from Nix. You would have to build it using Guix. DGR says David Will's USB port didn't last that long, I heard. Well, now that's true. On Ultrabook laptops, if they have the USB port soldered directly on the motherboard, eventually that thing's going to wear out and you're going to have problems. I'm basically propping up my USB-C cable from my dock, putting pressure on it so that the thing stays seated, just so that I can see my screen on the external screen. That's ridiculous, but it's the way it is. Now, I was almost about to buy a framework laptop to solve this problem, but what I realized is I just like this ThinkPad X1 Nano so much. Not necessarily the fact that it's a ThinkPad, but just I like the form factor, like, you know, the performance, etc. I don't want to change computers, but I also don't want to try to open the machine and solder it myself. So I'm trying to find somebody who can do it for me because I would like to just keep using it. All right, Einar says, current main machine from 2015, laptops from 2012, 2010, 2009. Yeah, I mean, definitely with the right software that is not engaged in planned obsolescence like other commercial operating systems, you can get by with old hardware for a long time. And it's quite nice. Shom says, Magit is probably the least confusing pronunciation in my mind. Magit. Well, if you don't know it's supposed to be magic, then you won't know. I thought it was Magit at first, and then I thought it was Maggot because of Git. It turns out it's Magit. So yeah, not exactly the most obvious pronunciation. Let's see. Scott says, I found that my system's running Arch run indefinitely as long as I'm not trying to do graphically intense things. Yep. Craig says, soldering sounds like David Will also needs a framework laptop. Yeah, I just don't want to spend money on something if I don't really need it. Framework laptops look great. I would love to have one, but at the same time, I just don't want to like disrupt the way I do things. But I might have to, so who knows? The one thing I will buy at some point though is what's it called? The M&T Reform Pocket Reform. Every time I see Lucas or the M&T, folks posting pictures of this thing on the Fediverse, I just want one so bad. I imagine it's going to be difficult to type on it because the keyboard layout's a little bit different, but can you just imagine like having a laptop like this to take with you and use Emacs on? That thing would be awesome. I'm more likely to buy that, but that is less practical, I would say. It's more of a curiosity plus an excuse to use Emacs on the go. Jeff says, you should see if they would donate one to you for review. I thought about asking, but I don't really think that I have enough like mojo for that yet. Also would like to support what they're doing because I think that it's a really cool operation they have there. Very, very aesthetic. And they're trying to use alternative chipsets. So the M&T Reform is like the bigger version of their custom laptops. And they just had a post about this today. Is it in the news? Yeah. So this R-Core RK3588 chip, I think it's an ARM chip. How many cores does it have? So 4 cores. It has 4 more cores. So 4 performance cores, 4 power efficient cores. You can have up to 32 gigs of RAM. It looks very weird. It's very thick, but it's pretty awesome. I don't know. Like I just think that what they're doing, they're just thinking of things differently, and they're trying different things. And I appreciate what they're doing. So I would not mind throwing some money their way. Yeah, they're not cheap. That's for sure. Mike D says, Framework laptop, never heard of it. Framework is also a cool company. Framework, was it frame.work? Yeah, they don't ship to Greece. That's why I hadn't bought one up until now. But there's 16-inch and 13-inch variants of this laptop. And the thing about it is that you can basically buy it to build it from scratch. They provide replacement, or they don't provide. They sell replacement parts for everything. They also have this interesting design where the ports on the sides of the laptop are pluggable, so you can switch them around or replace them if they go bad eventually, which is a problem that I have. But super nice looking build quality. They have the latest AMD Ryzen laptop motherboard chipsets as well, as you pick between Intel and AMD, and I would definitely pick an AMD machine if I had bought one. So It's a good company. I like what they're doing. They're definitely making it so that you can repair your own stuff. You can even buy a new motherboard and replace the existing motherboard in the same casing. You can replace the screen in the casing. You can replace a casing too. So like it's a laptop that you can basically refresh all the components as you wish, and not have to buy a brand new laptop every 4 or 5 years. Okay, I've been talking about laptops for a long time. You can tell I've been thinking about computers. But, I'm trying not to get too distracted. And I'm also, the first thing I need to buy is a better streaming machine. I need a desktop computer that could do more powerful streaming setups. So, I don't know. I got a lot of things I need to set up soon. Maybe I could do some PC building streams at some point. I don't know. Let's see. What's in the chat? Anon says, is it a bad idea to have Emacs cursor movement on Control plus WASD keys? Tried Emacs for a week and got really frustrated with the default key bindings. Well, the problem with doing anything non-standard with Emacs key bindings is that the standard Emacs key bindings are replicated so much in the various features of Emacs, the various packages of Emacs, even the community packages like the Control-N, Control-P, etc., that if you do anything non-standard, eventually you're going to run into problems. Even with Evil Mode. Evil Mode is a pretty advanced customization of Emacs key bindings, but you have to install like Evil Collection and some other stuff to make sure that all the Evil key bindings work correctly with built-in packages and community packages for Emacs. So it's not a bad thing to do your own custom bindings, but you have to accept the consequences that maybe you're going to have to work around various problems. That's one of the reasons why I switched back to vanilla key bindings. And that's been going well enough. I mean, I don't see myself going back to Evil anytime soon, if at all. Let's see. Scott says you could have an intermediary in the US ship it to you. Yeah, I also thought about shipping it to Germany or another European country and have them send it here, because that might avoid customs and import taxes. But I don't know. Okay. Was that it? Was that the last thing I wanted to say? Yeah, there's some more stuff in the Crafter news. I'll mention again the Spring Lisp Game Jam is coming on May 17th. I'll definitely be streaming that, so check that out when it happens and join up, because it will be fun writing some Scheme code or some Lisp code in general. Vishal says a desktop would be better if you're not traveling frequently. Well, desktop is good for me for live streaming primarily, and also gaming. But I prefer using laptops. I like mobility. I like to be able to take my laptop and go somewhere and be able to hack wherever I'm at. So that's my priority. Shom says, buy it when you're at LibrePlanet and just leave behind a crap laptop. Well, I did think about that too. That's what I was going to do, but I don't... I still haven't decided yet if I want to do it. I'm leaning towards no. Okay, so before we get into the topic for today, some folks in the System Crafters IRC were having a little bit of fun yesterday, and we've got some new System Crafters music, if you can believe it. So I thought it might be fun to listen to a couple of these songs, just, because, why not? So these are actually AI generated. So if you're allergic to AI generated content, maybe, close your ears for a second. But it's kind of impressive, actually. So I have to play the music on a different computer, but I'm going to put these lyrics up on the screen because it's pretty funny. So are you ready? Here we go. This is the first song. It's called Code Warriors, and this is apparently an electronic pop song. So prepare to vomit.
In a digital world where the lines blur, there's a channel that spreads the hacker allure. System Crafters the name, they're breaking the rules. With David Wilson at the helm, they're never gonna lose. They dive into systems, unraveling the code, exploring every loophole on this journey, they're bold. With MX as their weapon, they conquer the night. Stallman spirit guides them.
Stallman spirit. So that's thanks to Thanos for putting this together. It's basically this AI thing called Suno, but they can generate songs, and they also generate the lyrics just based on a simple prompt. So yeah, that was pretty funny. What else? There's another one called Code Breaker. If you're interested in a little bit more of a hip hop theme here, I'm definitely not going to rap this one myself, even though it seems to be written in the first person. I did not write this.
I'm the rhyme slayer, hacker on display. David Wilson, system crafters in the game. I stack code bricks, building Guix and MX. With a love for scheme, my mind's a grand apex. I hack the system, breach the walls, no suspense. I'm the mastermind, applying with intelligence. Lines of code, my weapon. I'm relentless, David Wilson, the hacker. No one can prevent this.
Yes, you can't prevent this.
I'm the code breaker, scheme in my veins. No one can imitate you. Guix and Max, my playground.
Guix
I'm the
and
game
Max.
changer, David Wilson, the system crafters, the tech slayer.
Yes, it's apparently Guix and MX. That's how these are pronounced now. All right, last one. So the first two were from Thanos, and the last one is from Benoit. And I think this is my favorite one. This is more of a heavy metal thrash song called System Slaughter, and I think it's pretty awesome.
Ruthless goal, ripping through the void. Binary leg with my power deployed. System crafter, hacking through the night. In the depths of darkness, I ignite. This metal king, ruling all the lines. Syntax trail, breaking up the body. Hacker metal community. United we stand, inflicting chaos with each command.
I'm definitely inflicting chaos. Symphony of Pain. Yes, so it's a violent domain crafting your system, apparently. And this is what AI has interpreted from the input from Thanos and Benoit. So thank you, Thanos and Benoit, for entertaining me with these, because it's quite funny. But anyway, just thought it'd be funny to show that. Lisp Metal King, yes. There's some pretty funny lines in this one. Syntax shredder, breaking all confines. Acapella Baroque or scat, yes. I think a scat song would be pretty funny, actually. But yeah, I did not sign up for this site because I did not want to waste all my time generating silly songs, because I could very easily get sucked into that. System Crafters Country, please. Oh boy. Yeah, I was thinking like something really ridiculous. Like if you could make a song that's kind of like 1 Week by the Bare Naked Ladies, but it's all about, you know, writing an Emacs configuration, it would be pretty annoying. Einar says, of course the metal song has understood hacking as being evil on the internet. Oh, yodeling? Oh man, yodeling geeks. That would be pretty funny. Okay, let me just stop delaying the point. It's 40 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to the real topic yet, so let's stop wasting time. Yeah, that last one was cool though. The rest were, you know, not as good. The hip hop song was pretty good. I was actually, you know, impressed by the proficiency of the flow. Gunn says, Dave behind chicken wire to protect him against empty beer bottles. Yes, we're definitely going to be streaming from the movie Roadhouse. Okay, so today what we're going to try to do is package the Guix package manager for Void Linux. Now, maybe it sounds ridiculous to package a package manager for another distribution using its own package manager, but if you're using a distro that's not Guix, sometimes you might want to use Guix, and there's two options. One is either your distro has a package for it that you can just install it and run it, like Debian or Alpine, or you have to use the installation script that's provided by the Guix project, and apparently that doesn't actually work on Void because there's some tweaks that need to be made to the service configuration that comes out of that. There's a patch to fix that on the Guix Develop mailing list, but it hasn't been merged. So until then, the best way to deal with this is just to try to package Guix for for Void Linux. And because I'll be using Void Linux for a little while, and I still want to use Guix for things like software development or just, installing apps temporarily, this kind of thing, or, creating containers or creating system images, or hacking on crafted Guix or anything. Like I need to have Guix around. So I want to try to package it up in a way that at least I can install it and use it, but ideally contribute the packages back to the Void Linux project. So today what we're going to try to do is use the Void Linux packaging setup, the way that you create packages for Void, and try to finish the job of getting Guile 3 and Guix packaged up for that. People have already been working on this for a while. There's been a number of abandoned PRs to bring Guile 3 into Void, because right now it's only Guile 2.2, and also to bring Guix in. I've got a couple links here to other PRs, so we might draw from a couple of these today. I did take the Guile 3 package from one of the PRs, and I've already put it into my local configuration, and I've built it, so we don't have to wait for that to be built. And it does actually work. I've been using it, so at least that part is no problem because it's already done. But installing Guix means installing whatever dependencies Guix needs to operate, so we'll have to make packages for a few of those different things. And we'll just see how far we get. I don't really know how far we can get. I've only done very little packaging work in Void so far. I packaged a font. I finished this Guile 3 package, or at least updated it. I also made my own customization of the libtd library that telega.el needs, because it's too old of a version in Void for the latest telega.el, so I updated that myself. So it's not that hard actually to do Void packaging. It's kind of a nice setup. So we'll just give it a shot, see how things go today. Drashal says, by the way, Void already has Nix packaged. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Drashal also said, theoretically, it should not be that difficult to package Guix in Void. Could be done in the same way Nix is packaged. It's not so much about what the thing does. It's more about the dependencies and making sure everything is set up correctly. I think the reason why the Guile 3 PRs have not gone through so far is that there's already programs in Void that depend on Guile 2. And part of the work of bringing in Guile 3 is making a parallel package so that there's Guile 2.2 and Guile 3 that are separate, and then updating all the dependencies of the applications that support Guile 3 to use Guile 3, but still making it so that the Guile 2.2 applications work correctly. So there's some extra work there to make sure everything builds. Also, you got to make sure that the cross-platform builds work, because Void is compiled to different platforms. There's a lot of extra work that needs to be done to make sure that Guix and its dependencies and Guile can be built successfully and packaged on Void. So some of that work I might not try to do. Some of this could just be self-serving. Maybe I'll just get Guix to work for me because I don't know if I'll have time to do the other stuff. But we may have time in our regular live stream soon to do some of the extra work. We'll see. I don't know. I would like to actually contribute this back to the project, because it's a non-trivial thing and it would be nice to have that there, but we'll see. All right. Scott says, I have no interest in Guix. And Guix, I'm sure he means. I'm just here for the Emacs and general Linux debauchery. Well, there will be more general Linux debauchery in addition to the Guix, for sure. Let's see. Gunn says, I installed Guix on my Arch system and it ate almost all of my spare disk space. Yes, it's because they keep around all of the previously installed packages and built derivations and profiles, etc. So you have to clean that up with GeeksGC, like what Judy said, every now and then. Jeff says, I like the idea of Guix, but I just don't also want all of the Guix packages on my Arch system. I'd rather be able to tell Guix how to interact with Pacman and then use Guix to script to install everything I want. Yeah, definitely that's not something that Guix will want to do. Let's see. Scott says, Void is okay, but I need the OR. Well, I mean, why do you need the OR? What software are you trying to install that needs the OR? Fade says the OR is a wretched hive of scum and villainy. That's a harsh accusation being leveled here. Scott says, I'm a proud OR scrum. Ismail says, can you install Emacs 30 in Guix? Yes, you can. There is I don't think I can run it right now, but there's a Emacs Next package that has a fairly up-to-date build of a commit on the master branch of Emacs. So you can definitely have Emacs 30 installed. I actually was using Emacs 30 on Guix. Boo says, how does Shepherd work on foreign distros? It's a big draw for me to Guix system. Well, you can definitely run Shepherd as a system level and user level service manager. It just won't be the init system for the distro, but you can run it as a service if you want to and have it manage things. If you use Guix as a package manager, typically you don't use Shepherd also because that's only for Guix system. If you use Guix as a package manager, what you can do is run a Guix container or create a Guix VM image and run Guix that way if you want to actually do like a full Guix system being hosted inside of the other distro. But typically you don't install GNU Shepherd as the service manager in another distribution. Hello to Christine. Christine says, when we integrate goblins and geeks, we shall achieve the true Guile Geeks Goblin superiority Triforce. I'm very interested to see that happen. I want to see what that amounts to in the end. Like, you know, what does it look like? And how does it make my brain explode? All right, so I've already got a fork of the Void Packages repo. I don't want to waste a whole lot more time, but let me just go show you that repo real quick. So the Void Packages repo is kind of like how Guix works, where you have like a single monolithic repo where all the packages are defined. I guess it's pretty common across many Linux distributions. I've heard that Arch is not like that though, but at least Guix, Alpine, Void are like this, where you have this monolithic repo that have all the core package definitions. So same thing here. There's this big source packages folder that has all the packages that are currently supported. There's also some stuff in here that's like non-free software or proprietary software even that they don't package for you. But if you download this repo and build it yourself with a specific environment variable, then you can get it. Like for instance, the Bitwig digital audio workstation, it was in here somewhere. Bitwig Studio. Okay, so Bitwig Studio is a proprietary application, but they've actually packaged it using the binaries provided by the Bitwig, the company behind Bitwig. So you can install things like that, but you have to clone this repo. In my experience, if you're going to seriously use Void, you probably will have a clone of Void packages or your own fork of Void packages. Now, the thing that I don't like about Void so far is that there doesn't seem to be a way to do something like Guix channels where you can have your own minimal repo of only the packages that you want to customize so you can share them with other people or just reuse them. It seems that what most people do is just fork this repo and then add their own customizations, and they just have to like continue to rebase or merge the changes back from the main repo. So it would be nice if there was a channel-like functionality. But for now, it doesn't seem like that's a thing in Void. But that's okay. I mean, like, I don't actually need that. But I feel like going forward, it would be nice if they had something like that. So the documentation for using this repo is pretty good. It tells you how to set up the build environment for this XBPS source. The package manager for Void is called XBPS. It's a custom package manager written only for Void. I mean, it's a package manager. It has some package manager features. I can't say that it's drastically different than other package managers, but XBPS and the tools around it do have some useful functionality for querying packages, querying files that were installed in packages, querying files that have changed since you installed the package, things of that nature. So I feel like because of that, there's a chance that you can make a reproducible configuration, not to the level of Guix or Nix, but at least, you know, you could have all the information you need to track the things that have changed in the system and be able to write scripts to replay the kinds of changes that you made or the things you installed or services you enabled across your system configurations. So it's possible to do something like that. Christine says, note that you can use Shepherd with other distros. Yeah, I was basically saying that, that you can run Shepherd, but it's not going to be the init system for the distro. It's just going to be a system level service or a user level service that can manage services, but it's separate from the init system, whatever service manager they use for the init system. So this XBPS source script is only available inside this repo. It's used to build void packages from these package definitions. And if you go look at the package definitions, let's go take a look at the Guile one anyway. So Guile 3. They are usually called template files. They're in a folder named by the package. This is a bash mode, shell mode. Okay. These are shell scripts. These are bash scripts, actually. Everything is set up through the use of variables in the script. So it looks like metadata, but it actually is just bash code. You define the package, the version, some other variables that are used for builds, like configure arguments. The build style is kind of like build systems in Guix, where for a package you say, okay, I want you to use CMake, or I want you to use Meson or GNU Make or whatever. And there is a similar concept here. So you can basically say if there's a standard build procedure for this package or this program, you can pick one from the styles that are available. Let's see, where is it? Source packages, styles. Where is that? Etc. I know it's in here somewhere. Style. Common build style. Okay, so in this build style folder, there's a number of build styles that you can use. Python packages, Rust packages, Zig packages, Go packages, CMake, R, Ruby, a lot of things. So, a lot of common things are kind of pre-made there. Their strategy for doing this is pretty nice. It's kind of extensible. You have these, individual bash functions that take care of the various phases of the build. So if you can write it as a bash script, then you can easily make a build style for something, or even do your own custom work inside of a template. But I imagine they would probably discourage you from doing fully custom work without using a build style. So it might be necessary for some types of packages, but at least for many programs, they're going to use one of the major build systems or package managers for a given language. So there's already stuff for that here. So since I have not written this Guile 3 package myself, I thought maybe it would be useful to just sort of step through it and see what we have in here. So they do, one thing that's kind of interesting about Void compared to Guix is that Void prefers to download tarballs of source for the projects from the official locations and not from Git repositories. So they don't clone Git repositories. You cannot contribute a package to Void that clones a Git repository. They want to download a tarball containing the source. Now, GitHub and other source forges will give you a tarball if you go to a specific link for the given tag of that repository. So often you will see a, let's see, source, whoops, what's it called? Dist files, dist GitHub. Often you'll see something like, oh, they actually have a Git hash here. Ooh, they lied. So they actually do have one that has a hash for a commit, but I think they don't actually like people to do this. So dist GitHub. Let's find another example. Yeah, so there's a lot of them here that are pulling from GitHub repos that are using the actual tagged version, and that's the way they like to do things apparently. They download the tarball, they extract it locally, and then they use whatever build procedure that is specified by the build style. So that's what's happening here. It's so common to download GNU programs that they have some variables for the GNU FTP site where a lot of the GNU programs can be downloaded. So we've got the link to the Guile release for a given version. They also check the checksum of the download to make sure that that is the file that you expect it to be. And they also complain whenever the checksum is different, so you can easily change that if you need to. Alternatives, we won't really talk about that too much, but it's basically a way for XBPS to tell you if there are multiple packages that install the same programs in case you need to use a different package version. And then some cross-build information for compiling to different platforms. Pre-configure hook, so you can use auto reconf. I don't really know how common that is for automake projects, but maybe Maybe for Guile projects, it actually is pretty common. I think I've seen auto reconf being used in Guile projects. There's also some patches being installed, or a patch being installed. If you have any patch files in the same folder, that they will be applied to the code after it's been pulled down. So apparently there's a post-patch phase here, post-install phase. Because it's moving some source files to like an auto-load folder. And then also they separate the development files, like headers and development libraries, from the main installation package, which a lot of distros do. So you can have your develop package information set up here with some specific things that are different for that. So it's not very big to actually to package and compile Guile 3, surprisingly. So hopefully it will be similar for Guix. I don't really know, but we'll see how it goes when I start looking into the individual dependencies. So what I might do is try to just, copy and paste a little bit to get started, because, why write everything from scratch when I don't have to? I'll drop back into the source packages folder, say Guix, and then template, which is the thing we need to do for that. I'll paste in the existing source and get rid of all the stuff that's not the metadata. Whoops. Oh, let me turn on tab bar mode so you can see me struggle. Sorry, keycast tab bar mode. So you can see me struggle with vanilla Emacs key bindings. Okay, so template file for Guix. This is kind of a convention that people follow. All right, so package name, Guix. Version, I think it's 104, isn't it? 140. Let me go check out the Guix Savannah Git repository. GNU Guix and Guix system. Chomsky Seal says, how's the packaging going? I remember this being an issue years ago. Guile 3 was missing. Yes, Guile 3 is still missing, so we've got that in here. Yeah, Judy says, I'm pretty sure it's 1.4. I think so too. Refs. Oh, I just see the tags list here. So it's 1.4.0. Cool. So 1.4.0, revision 1. So the revision is basically just, if the same version of the package has to be bumped, that's one way to do that. We see the tarball here, which we might pull from this, but also let's check and see if it's on the ftp.gnu.org site, Guix. Let me check the Guile thing. GNU site. GNU site equals, okay, ftp.gnu.org/GNU. There it is. All right, so we will use the GNU site and Guix. We don't want a binary. We just want plain old Guix 1.4.0. So Guix 1.4.0. I'll let the checksum complain whenever it's time. I'll change the website to be geeks.gnu.org. Maintainer, I don't know. I don't want to put myself yet. Let me just do it anyway. All right, so what is the short description of Guix? I could probably find that out from the Guix package itself. Let's actually go to sure, and then define package Guix. No. Define Guix. GNU packages Guix. No, whoa. Hold on. Maybe I don't have this actually cloned all the way. Probably don't have it cloned all the way. Okay, whatever. We just go to the tree here. They want a short description, sort of like how Guix wants a short description too. Packages. Christine says, Savannah is old tech. If I recall using a really old SourceForge backend tech, yeah, it would be nice if Savannah would update to like, Forgeo or whatever it's called. I would prefer that, but I don't see it happening. Okay, I don't see a Guix package. I know there is one. Let me look on my other machine real quick. Because I still have Guix installed somewhere else. Come on. Taking 20 years to start the Guix REPL. All right, so, oh, okay, GNU Packages Package Management. That's where it is. And what it says is, come on. Woo, the Guix package is long. Functional Package Manager. This sounds so dry as a description, but whatever. Okay, there we go. Make depends. We're gonna, yeah, this is something I forgot about. Program suffix 3. I don't know if that's needed. Let's just get rid of that for now. Why did that not comment out? That's interesting. Oh, it's fundamental mode. That's why. Shell mode. There we go. So, host make depends. So I think that Judy says, I better hope it's functional. Why would I want one that doesn't work? I agree. So back, let's see, make, you know, there's a really good tutorial, Meteor, XBPS source. Where is the website? I swear. Did I spell the name wrong? There's a tutorial. Okay. XBPS packaging tutorial. Explains a lot of this stuff. Is this it? That's it. Okay. So host make depends. There we go. Dependencies. 4 types of dependencies. Host make depends, depends, and check depends. Host make depends must run on the host when cross-compiling. So that's running on the build machine. Make depends are dependencies that are required for cross-compiling. They're compiled for target architecture. So the important thing there, Lucas says, I think void packages repo has a description for it. Yeah, it probably does too, but I'm used to this thing because I've been reading it. So let's see. We definitely want automake. We probably need get text, libtool, I guess, package config, probably text info, definitely. I don't know if we need some of these other things, so maybe I'll just comment this one out for a moment. So we've got a lot of stuff here so far. It could be possible to go ahead and start trying to compile this. Now, we're going to run into problems immediately because there's dependencies that are missing, but maybe we'll see during the configure phase what things are missing. So I'm going to pull up a shell here, and then I'm going to run XBPS source package Guix. And that's going to pull down the Guix repo, which is probably a terrible thing to do because, oh, actually, it's not pulling the repo down. It's pulling the tarball down, which is much better. Because otherwise, you would be pulling down years and years of copious commits that would take forever if you didn't do it without specifying the depth. Gun says, Void Linux is X binary package system. You mean like for Xorg? Fade says, I miss fresh meat. Yeah, I had a fresh meat t-shirt back in 1999 or 2000. And then I realized nobody knows what this is, and it just sounds really weird. So why would I wear this to school? Okay. So now it's telling us that it's got a SHA mismatch, which makes sense because this is not the right SHA. So I'm just going to go copy this. I'll jump over here and then paste this in and delete the rest. And then run it again. And then we'll get to the next phase. Ismail says, are you using EAT? I don't think so. Oh, no Guile development. Whoa, 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 whoa. No Guile development packages were found. I think did I install Guile devel? Well, okay. So I need those. Probably in make depends. I need Guile 3 and Guile 3 devel. So let's try that. Another interesting thing about how XBPS works is that it also builds your packages in, I want to say it's a container, if I'm understanding it correctly. It makes a little chroot environment to build things, so that's not, building it in your own environment. It's also sort of isolating it so everything gets built on its own. It's not as isolated as something like Guix or Nix, but it is nice that they are trying to make the package build process a little bit more reliable, I suppose. The Guile bindings of GNU TLS are missing. Please install them. All right, so now we got to look up the Guile bindings of GNU TLS. Guile GNU TLS. Let's see what we got for that. GNUTLS.org manual. Let's go look at the GNU project and see Guile GNU TLS. Does it come with GNU TLS or is it separate? Is this tagged? Thank God it's tagged. All right, 7 months ago, tag to 4.0. Now the question, oh, the build failed. Question is, what version does Guix want for that? Well, let's go back to the Guix package definition. Package management. Then, where is it? Guix. There we go. Define public Guix. And we have a few things here. So native inputs, those are being used for the compilation. GNU TLS, Guile GNU TLS. I really wish I had the Guix here so I could search for these things without having to dig through the code. Maybe I should actually clone this so that we can search a little bit more effectively. Okay, summary. Give me the link to use to clone it. Here we go. Copy link. Maybe I should use the HTTPS link. All right, so I'm going to drop back one level. Git clone. Oh, no, don't do that. Is that right? I don't need the whole thing. I just need the latest. Peter says, what are we doing? We are trying to package the dependencies for Guix in Void Linux so that we can try to get Guix building and working on Void Linux. Someone else has already done a lot of this work, but I'm trying to do some of it myself just to see how well it goes, and we might just end up copying and pasting the existing work in the end. Let's see. So we got the Guix repo now, which is much better. So let's go into that repo. And I'm going to search for define public Guile GNU TLS. There it is. And 3.7.14 is the version that Guix has. So I'm guessing that's the one that I want. So 3.7.14 is this one here. We got the tag. And then the... Is there a tarball link? Maybe inside the GitLab dist. Who's using stuff from GitLab? GitLab org, archive version, CLI version. That might be good enough. So we're gonna have to create another package now. Let's go to Guile GNU TLS. Doesn't exist yet. I wonder if I need to say Guile 3 GNU TLS. I don't know if it matters. Okay, so template. Okay, so we got the dist files link that we're gonna need. Let me clean it up a little bit because we got to change the org, the project. Whoops. What is it? Well, archive version. Let me see if I can just do this. Guile. Oh. Yeah, I think it's going to be named that probably. Guile GNU TLS Is that right? V 3.7.14. I'm going to copy this just in case it works. No. Thanks for the Cloudflare landing page. GNU TLS Guile archive version. Guile GNU TLS. Can I take a look at this link, maybe? You really want me to log in? Fantastic. Well, let me do this on another screen then. Let me see if I can get that done. I don't want your cookies. Thank you. Okay, GitLab. Page not found. Fine, whatever. Maybe there's a link. Can we not do that? Okay. Oh, look at the releases maybe? Yeah, okay, here we go. Source code tar.gz. That's the link right there. Copy that. So I'll just go type it again. Dist files equals. And then we will take the version here. I'm pretty sure it's just normal bash syntax. Oh, no, it's not that. We don't need to do a subshell. We just do the syntax. Whoa. Yes, I want to create that. Okay, now I need to go and copy the rest of this goodness here. This is going to take forever, it looks like. So we may have to skip a few steps and see how it goes. All right, we'll kill this. No, we want that, don't we? Yeah, that's the right one. Let's take that and put it right there. Whoops. Okay, dist files is supposed to be. Okay. This is still not the right mode. Okay, so work source Guile GNU TLS. I'll just say Guile GNU TLS. Guile GNU TLS. The version is 3.7.14. No. Yes. 3.7.14. GNU configure. I'm guessing that will be the case. We're gonna try to build this one separately and see how it goes. I don't know what else is gonna need here, but this could get really messy really fast, so we may have to cheat. Paul says he's using eShell. Yes, I'm using eShell. That's right. All right. Let's hop over to the shell here. We'll go back into void packages, and then we'll run xbps source package Guile GNU TLS. Now we're gonna have to update the SHA for sure. There we go. Okay, we're gonna pop back up and then go to the checksum. Let's just use some Avi here. I don't feel like screwing around. So paste that. All right. Now we will run it again. This time it should match. All right, so do configure no such file or directory. Interesting. Do I have the sources? Let's take a look. What's in here? Oh, it's still a tarball. I'm going to unpack it. Let's see. There is a make file. Maybe it's just a plain make file. There's it looks like there's some M4 stuff. It's like an automake project. It says rolling like a vanilla Emaxer. Yes, it takes practice. I've been practicing. Let's see. Pavel noticed that. Oh, hello, Pavel. You have a 3.7.14 in the dist file string. Thank you very much. Thanks, Oshiraj, for pointing that out. Let me go back and fix that real quick. Yes, that's right. Thank you. So let's just say 3.7 here. Whoops. And then delete that word. Then version. All right, cool. Got that. So it seems we need automake. Automake. Is there a style for that? See you, Jeff. Let's see, automake wrapped in a makefile. Maybe. That would be insane, wouldn't it? GNU makefile. I mean, what if I just... What am I using now? GNU configure. I think there's also a GNU makefile. Let's check. GNU makefile. Yes. All right, so set the configure, GNU configure, or GNU makefile build methods. Well, let's see what happens. I'm curious. We may have to do some kind of pre-step. You must run configure before running make. Well, for some reason, it's not doing what we expected to. There seems to be no makefile in this directory. What are you talking about? Okay. Repo cache? No. Sources? So where could it be? I don't think it's an etc. Master deer, maybe? No, not likely. Let's take a look at the logs and see if maybe there's some hint here. What time is it actually? Okay, we got time. Yeah, I mean, I may have to force it. So GNU configure probably is the way, but I might need to do a step before then. Maybe I should just, not be a scrub and just like read the docs. Where is the okay, there's readme. I assume there would be make. Here we go. Configure, make check. Is there a configure script? Because I didn't find it before. Why didn't it not work the last time? All right, let's try it. It should work, shouldn't it? So, is it possible that I'm missing some tools? Let's take a look. I will go back to host make depends and let's include automake. I think I read that you do need to include build tools. Let's see. No. All right, let's cheat so we don't have to waste too much time. Let's look at org. Let's look at the Guix PR because it has a lot of the packages that are needed. We're only going to look at the GNU TLS package just to see what it has in it. Ooh, it has some patches. Great. All right, so was there all... Oh. There's a GNU TLS package already. See, I'm Mianas Mezar. So is that all that's needed? You just need to update this package to enable Guile. So that's interesting. Let's try to understand this for a second. There's the vopt if function. I'm guessing this is something that comes with org. So vopt if. There it is. Environment setup options. Looking for build options. All right. If dbus, yes, no. Okay, it's basically an if statement. I see. Yeah, the PR is closed because the gun says some package from Jatan. Yeah, the PR is closed because of inactivity, I think. And I think they were not sure what to do about Guile 3. Okay. So what I wonder is, where do these options come from? Build options. Okay. That's cool. I see. It's kind of like use flags, sort of. You set build options inside of your package. Yes, Ashra said they come from build options in your package. So, Guile. Okay, so build options, Guile, Python. This is in the AVR GDB Okay, so then I can say, I'll just copy this. And I don't want to build my package anymore. What I want to do is go edit the GNU TLS package. So GNU TLS template. Build options is not here, but we can just drop it in there. Now, that actually is not what we want. What we want... That's interesting. It uses a, oh, okay, it is here. I see. Build options default. We're just going to yoink that one. So they put that towards the end. There's also a pre-configure step, which is interesting. We should take a look at what that says. Now, is this old? Because I don't see this pre-configure on the GNU TLS package. Why not? Source packages, GNU TLS, template. Oh, this, okay, I see. Probably I'm looking at an out-of-date version because this is from how long ago? Uh, 2020. Okay, so that's like literally almost 4 years ago that this has been going on and off. Ashra says, quick remark, those options are not related to any package names. It can be arbitrary and are used together with vopt if. You can call an option pancakes and then use that to indicate the inclusion of GNU TLS. Okie dokie. Okay, let's go back and we're just going to drop this in right around here. I don't know. I don't care. And what we're saying, I guess what we're saying here is that this package has these options and the default options are Guile being enabled. Who knows if they actually want that? But GNU TLS Guile 3 patch. Interesting. I wonder if we need that still. We'll see. Oh, they're changing the names of library. Yeah, library names on the local system, it looks like. Can't really tell for sure. Okay, so vopt if Guile, enable Guile, disable static, disable Guile. I see. With zlib, disable static. They get rid of, okay, they've got it still. So disable static, disable Valgrind tests. We're gonna put, whoop, go back right there. Vopt if, and that is Guile. We'll see if that works. That adds Guile in. What else? Host make depends, automake. Yeah, let's just copy and paste this thing. The thing that's nice about this is you can use normal subshell semantics to insert the things that are optional. And make host depends also needs it. Make depends also needs it. And Guile 3 devel. Okay. All right, and that's enough for that one. Let's give it a shot and see if we can build it. The question, though, is in the Guix package that they set up, how do they say what option they want? Huh. Okay, it's just the fact that they're making it optional, but they're turning it on by default. So nobody's actually using it, it seems. Fine. Let's try that now. I wonder how long it's going to take to build that. We'll find out soon. But it does seem to be picking up the Guile 3 dependency, which is good. All right. What's going on in the chat while we wait for this to build? We don't know how long it's going to take. And the version of this is 3.8.5, and the version that Guix uses is 3.7.14. So let's hope there's no conflict there. Interesting, though, that this seems to be built in somehow to GNU TLS, the project. I don't know. Yeah, Ismail says add hook fundamental mode, bash mode. Probably if I were to put a, what do you call it, a dir local file, I could probably set that up to where it automatically shows up correctly. This may take a while. If it takes a while, then we'll have to hang it up. But so far, I mean, what are your thoughts on packaging for Void? I mean, I think it's not that bad. It's not as confusing looking as Guix packaging. Now, obviously, Guix packaging could be a lot more powerful, and you get the right scheme as a result of packaging your programs. But I think that at least for people who have some level of experience with Bash, this is a lot easier to track, and it does a lot of the work for you so long as the program follows conventions for being built. Fade says, it really reminds me of BSD. Void is very BSD inspired. In fact, the person who created Void was a contributor to OpenBSD, I believe. I don't know how big of a contributor they were, but definitely they have BSD background. Jonathan says your configure args do not include Guile. Let me see. Is that, did I miss that? Let me see. Bump, bump, bump. Here's it. Oh, it's here. Configure args, enable Guile. So Jonathan may have seen a problem. Oh, okay, I've finished building. That's good. Checking for Guile 3 error. Okay. Oh, wait, what? That's wrong. I should be using compile for this, I think, and not eShell, so that we can actually see what's happening. And there you see me trying to use evil key bindings because I'm so, like, it's weird how the brain works. You can be rewiring your brain to use different key bindings in one area, but then as soon as you your brain follows a different pathway to do a different task, then all of a sudden the old key bindings just start coming out of your fingers again. It's very contextual. All right, I'm looking for configure warning. Okay, I think that I'm missing things. So let's run this in compile so that we have a clean output every time. We can tell what we're doing. So I'm gonna drop back to this folder, compile, and then I'll run xbps source package GNU TLS. Now, Guile found. I'm not seeing anything yet. Warning. Guile. Okay, enable support for Guile laying on, it says in the configure output, I believe. Unless that's something that's coming from xbps source. Is it compiling all over again, I wonder? Can I go to the end? Oh yeah, it's compiling again. It didn't take that long last time. Yeah, I don't see anything saying Guile in here. All right, so configure arbs. Did I not put it in there? I thought I did put it in there. Let's go back into the template right here. Configure args. I have that in. Yeah, it's in the list. Oh, guild. Thank you. Someone caught that before and I missed it. Let's do it over. Now we'll see. Yes, I did see that, Ashraz. Thank you. Always typos. Guile. All right. Weird that it says enable support for Guile laying on. We'll see if it starts compiling and placing scheme files. Okay, I think I missed some things in the chat while we're waiting. Ashra says, System Crafter distcc for distributed compiling on System Crafter streams. Yeah, that might be nice. Let me jump to the bottom here. Fade says, Debian packaging is a whole vibe. And Judy says, personally not hooked on the Bash, but it feels better than Arch package build. Yeah, I haven't tried to package anything in Arch before. Guile. Still don't see anything. Let's try building Guix again. We're gonna put GNU TLS as the dependency. How much time we got left? Okay. We don't want. I think we want GNU TLS and GNU TLS devel here probably. Oh, don't do that. This time we're doing, come on, compile Guix. All right, so what's this now? Guile bindings of GNU TLS are missing. Please install them. Let's see. What else am I missing? In the Guix template, it says GNU TLS devel. I need GNU TLS. Oh, what's this Guile libs? I see. Depends. All right, so it needs both of these. Let's go here. So depends equals Guile 3. And Guile libs. We'll copy that because we're going to need it anyway. So Guile libs. There's another reason why it's nice to be in a language so you can just set variables and use them. Guile libs equals GNU TLS. We don't have the rest of these, and you know, if we have to package all of these dependencies, we're going to be here for a while, but yeah, we're just going to give it a shot. So Guile JSON, I imagine that one's going to be easier. Guile Git, maybe. Guile SQLite 3, maybe. I don't know. Guile SSH could be a headache. I don't know if it actually uses any SSH libraries or if it just wraps programs. We'll see. GNU TLS, devel, Guile 3 devel. All right, so this doesn't need GNU TLS. Oh, it does. All right, let's delete that. And we're going to put Guile libs here. We're going to put Guile libs here. We're going to fix the typo. Okay, so Guile 3 devel. So host make depends is Guile 3 and package config. Okay. Guile 3. Doesn't need automake. It only needs Guile 3 and package config. That's nice. So if I take these out, let's also take this out. Let's just clean things up a little bit here. All right. Still the same problem so far. Guile bindings of GNU TLS are missing. I might, let's see. GNU TLS, there's a patch here. I don't know if the patch is needed. I didn't see anything being a problem with it. Oh, do I need to bump the revision so it actually does something? Maybe revision 2. That could be it, actually. I wonder if it's trying to build the old version. I don't know. Won't it need text info for the, or tech info for the info man pages? I think so. I think that's somewhere else. So configure args. We got enable Guile. You know, I wonder if GNU TLS moved Guile GNU TLS out of the main project, and that's why they're separate now. It is very possible that this actually is the case. So where is GNU TLS? Right here. If I search in this repo for Guile, Guile bindings removed. And which release was this in? This was in 3.8. So yes. Guile. Okay, so we got some contributions from Ludo here. Have been included and removed. To reduce complexity and simplify maintenance. Well, I don't disagree with that, but I don't know which version to use anymore. So what I was doing apparently is the correct thing. So this package no longer needs to be updated. And the Guile GNU TLS that we were starting with is the right thing to do. So already we're seeing how this work needs to be redone after changes to projects that are involved. So probably there's going to be a lot of things that are different. Does the release list say, where is releases? Releases. Does it say which version it's compatible with? News 3.7.14. Okay, can now use newer GNU TLS features. Okay, all right. So maybe it's not as critical about the specific version. Is there a way to check? Oh, Bootstrap. Osloy says, simplify maintenance means causes build problems that take an hour to debug. Yes. All right, if there's a GNU lib tool, then we do some other things we're removing some M4 files. It's like some local development work. But I think AutoReconf does need to be run. And we saw that somewhere. It might have been. All right, pre-configure. This is probably what we need to make the Guile GNU TLS package work. So let's go and do that. We're going to go back to the Guile GNU TLS thing that we had here before. And we will retry to build this now. So I'll run compile with Guile GNU TLS, and then we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so there seems to be no makefile in this directory. Same problem. Weird. Okay, let's. What was a host here? Sources. README. Yeah, configure. They don't run AutoReconf themselves. Kind of weird, right? There seems to be no makefile. But there's no configure file either. There's a configure AC, which tells me that it needs to be generated from automake. Or autoconfig, right? Whichever they are. I'm not a very astute AutoTools user. Okay. I suppose we need to depend on Guile as well. Probably the same things that were done in the GNU TLS package need to be done here as well. So some of this stuff where we're pulling in Guile 3 and Gal3 devel, and make depends. So let's do that. Supposed to be automatic, not simple. Yeah, they're definitely not simple. All right, make depends, Gal3, Gal3 devel. Host make depends, Guile3, I think that we saw. Was that right? Nope. So Guile3. Maybe package config. Auto config was not included. Auto make, let's say. But maybe libtool. I'm not sure what the difference is with libtool. And Guile3 devel in the make depends. Yes. All right. We're going to try it again. You must run configure before running make. Well, I'm trying to. Isn't that what auto reconf is supposed to do? To update configure scripts. Make even configure scripts and configuration headers. Okay, so that's dash F. And what is dash I? Install the missing auxiliary files in the package. All right. This looks like valid to me. Auto reconf. Let me see in other packages what they need for this to work. They use GNU configure. They use automake and libtool. So am I missing libtool? Is that what the problem is? Auto reconf. Let's go. Where is this? Foo Billiard. Package config, automake. Configure args. I don't see anything else that looks different. I wish I knew where it's unpacking this stuff. Let me check the args of XBPS source. I want to see if I can get it to store the source directory so I can take a look at what's in there. Masterdir is the main directory to build, store, compile packages. So masterdir, okay. User source, no. Where does it go in there? Masterdir host. Do not remove build directory automatic dependencies and package destdir after successful install. We want it after error. Okay. That's interesting. So let's see. Let's cheat some more. Is it possible that someone else has tried to compile to contribute? Guile GNU TLS. Let's say is PR only? Oh yes, in this one. Okay, so this is where I obviously should be looking. So Guile GNU TLS. I wonder if this is still old though. How old is this? This is also from 2020. So it looks like people tried this and just gave up and didn't go back to it, which I suppose makes sense because it's not easy. I'm trying to do one of the more complicated packages that I could try to do. Let me look one more. Well, no. Let's do that. Let's take a look at the GNU TLS package. Automake. I think it's basically the same as what we saw before. Preconfigure VFI. Build options Guile. Preconfigure this twice. That seems like a mistake. It can't be right. All right, so back in Guile GNU TLS. VFI. I don't know if it's going to make any difference. I'm guessing it would just give us some more output, but it didn't do a whole lot the last time. There seems to be no makefile. Well, why don't you like call the preconfigure script and let us build it? Did I do something wrong? It's supposed to work like this. Who the hell knows? libtool. Common. Build style, GNU configure. Yeah, sure. I need to examine this a little bit more closely. Can I tell where it's actually unpacking this to? Maybe I'll have to just go look at the void packages. Well, no, let's not do that. Manual.md. Master dir installs the package files. Source full path to the fake dest dir used by the source package set to master dest dir. Okay, so master dir dest dir. Here we go. Oh, it's not there. Source code. Let's see what else. How about I'll search for the word keep. No. Extracts disk files into work source. Okay. So maybe if I go back to the README, keeping it up to date. Okay, that's not it. Source dir. The store package sources. Host dir sources. Yeah, I see the tarball. I don't see the actual. Because I'm the one who unpacked that. Seems weird that this doesn't work. I mean, I almost have to like try to build it myself in this folder. Okay. Well, I guess I don't have a choice. I have to try to do it that way. E shell. Let's try to install automake. Xi automake. I don't know if I have it installed already. So all right, let's get that in there. Automake autoconf, I see that. So if I go into the sources, what was it? Host dir sources, Guile GNU TLS. All right, so here, if I run automake, what was it? Auto reconf VFI. Okay, so arrow automake filled with exit status 1. Libtool library used. No. Is that right? But libtool is undefined, so I need to install libtool. So libtool is needed. I don't like that I'm having to install these directly. Okay, so that seems to have worked. And now once I have that, I have a configure script, which seems, okay, no package GNU TLS found. Fine. So if it actually worked the way it's supposed to, this template file, then it should be able to build this library. I am not actually including GNU TLS here though. Could that possibly be it? How about this? GNU TLS and GNU TLS devel? Who knows? All right, so we'll go back to the compile buffer and try it again. Same business. It really doesn't give me any indication that something went wrong. Is there like a -v that I can use or something? No different. Hey, Mitor. Nice to see you. I'm having trouble here. Anyway, like I was saying before, Mitor is the author of this very nice guide about packaging with XBPS. So that's been a very useful thing for me to look at the last few days. It's interesting this is not working, though. Let me check one more time. I'm going to go to... okay, verbose messages only affects update check. Nope. VVV. Let me see. It probably isn't that. It doesn't indicate that in the script, so I'm guessing there's probably no like extended verbose with the multiple V's. And we're about to run out of time here, so we'll see if I can come up with any magical solution. But it definitely feels like it's not calling, either it's not calling that pre-configure step, or it is calling it and there's an error and it doesn't give me any indication that it's happening. So let's take a look. Okay, so there's no pre-configure here. This is probably inheriting from the configure script, configure. Auto for templates and using configure scripts not generated by the GNU Auto Tools. Is there a pre-configure? Is that still a thing? I mean, we see it in a ton of package definitions. I'm trying to figure out where this comes from. I guess it must be in the common folder. Unset, pre-configure, do configure, post configure. Interesting. Mitor, the pre-configure step does not seem to be working in the package that I'm working on. So I am looking at this Guile GNU TLS package, which uses automake, and I need to run auto reconf as the first step, but for whatever reason, it does not seem that pre-configure is being executed for this package. I'm not sure why. Linux says, the journey is more important than the destination. Really interesting to see other thinking and attacking problems, educative content. Well, thank you. I'm hoping that live streams will be like that when we're doing it more. I mean, even if we're not making quick progress, maybe there will be some redeeming value to it. There seems to be no makefile in this directory. Yeah, so is it just the fact that there's no makefile? Because there is a makefile, but it's called GNU makefile, and I have no idea why they did that. So if I go back to the host dir sources and look at the thing that I unpacked, there is a makefile.am because it needs to be generated. Hello, Christopher. So So yeah, it would be generated if this initial bootstrapping step was done. There's a bootstrap script that does run autoreconf VIF, but there's no makefile there. So is there something, I wonder if there's like another step where I can like move the makefile, or is there something even earlier? Is it like a post export step? I'm hitting the wrong key bindings. What's going on here? All right, so post extract functions. Oh, here we go. All right, following functions can be defined to change the behavior of how the package is downloaded, compiled, installed. Post fetch, pre-extract, post extract, pre-patch. I should probably do it after patching. Pre-configure function actions to execute after post patch. Well, oh, I should follow the breadcrumb trail here. GNU configure.sh, line 15. I'm once again evil key bindings. Line 15 right here. It's hitting do build. How's it even getting there? Let's check that. GNU makefile. I don't see anything explicit about that, but I believe you. Make command, make jaws, build args, build target. So, oh, look at that. Abort due to no makefile. Is it the makefile that's aborting? Come on now. Wait a second. Something's wrong here. Abort due to no makefile. What the hell? Okay, so the makefile's doing it. Sorry, XBPS. I was looking at the wrong error. But how the hell am I supposed to know without going through all this trouble, I guess? So it is make, being called on GNU makefile, but it says it's aborting due to no makefile. Which step is it running? It's running do build. Okay, so we can see what it's trying to do. Sharing the template. I don't have it easy. In fact, I'm probably going to turn up the stream in like 2 minutes, so I'll have to talk to you about it probably on IRC. So it's running do build. And the manual says do build gets called after configure. So how is it that we're getting that far into the game? I don't see it saying running. Okay, how about that? It does run a pre-build hook, but this says this O2 script wrapper. Well, let's do another pre-build hook. How about that? Right here. Pre-build. I don't know, man. Something weird is happening here. There we go. Now it's running autoreconf. Still complaining about no makefile, but is it finding that there's no configure script? How about post extract? Or should it be post patch, perhaps? It doesn't tell me it's running any of these other steps. That's weird. The do configure stem must have been successful. That doesn't have to mean much, but it 100% means that no command returned non-zero in that step. Well, it's weird that it doesn't have a configure file at that point because it needs this autoreconf to be run first before it has a configure script. So it's a little bit strange that it doesn't complain. I'm not seeing all the steps involved here. I wish I would get like a real verbose readout of all the steps that are being run. Christian Linux says, I'm studying Geeks, but I have things like plasma package isn't maintained or TWM Qtile isn't too. Is it common packages on repos stop being maintained? Yes. Sometimes packages get way out of date. Distributions like Geeks or even Void Linux, it depends on the community to keep things up to date. So if something's out of date, then someone has to just go update it. And that might take a while. Gun says, does it have a configure.in? Yes. I did see that, Osloid, that it says it needs to be run first, and I'm trying to do that. I think that something is not detecting the files it expects to see, and it's skipping steps. But that's an assumption. I don't really know for sure if that's what's happening. So configure script. Do configure. Manual. Do configure. Is it the XPPS source that runs this? Who runs these steps? Yeah, the configure setup and pre-configure, I tried that and it did not get run, for sure. Who runs pre-configure? Because I see it in a bunch of templates, but I'm not able to find where it's actually being run. How about I do this? Post patch. Perhaps that's less noisy and I can find some better, you know, let's do this the right way. I see some unset. I see some source packages. Just a lot of usages of post patch. Doesn't like anything that appears to be a call to post patch. Yeah, so I tried that. I'll show you that it doesn't work for this package. I think that it's something about the source of this package specifically that's causing it. So I'm going to try to run this with pre-configure set, and it will not call auto reconf, and it will not find the make file because the configure script is not present. All right, so let's look at the XBPS source. Let's see, targets, configure. Okay, is this where it is? Fetch, extract, blah, blah, blah. Okay, XPPS source clean. I will try that. All right, let's try it again. Go back into my compilation buffer. Boom. Oh boy. That's interesting. So why is that the case? Is it cache something somewhere and it just doesn't get updated? Yeah, this is different. Shouldn't really read XBPS source code to be able to package. It's supposed to be abstracted away. Well, the clean thing, I'm sure that you say that in your tutorial. I probably did see that, but now I see why. That it actually is necessary. Osloy says, is there a void IRC or something? Yes, there's a void Linux channel in irc.libre chat. Okay, so make info command not found. Cool. That is a clearer problem to solve. I don't have time to do that. I'll throw it in here anyway just to see. Was it text info, template, geeks? What was it? Tech info. But it's, what was it called? Make info. Patches. All right. It must be in the tech info package. So let's put it tech info here. I'm pretty sure I saw that tech info. Post make depends. Okay. Let's try it. Make info command not found. There's a way to find this. eShell xlocate. All right, make info is in tech info. 711. Host make depends. Depends. I don't see it in make depends. I only see it in host make depends most of the time. There must be something else that's missing. Let me actually go check on automake Guile 3 package config. Oh, is it the cache thing again? Dude. I need to throw that in here. XPPS source and what was it? Clean? Do that every time. Yes, after every failed build, Mitor says, thank you. I'll have to keep that in mind. All right, now I'm really done. I don't have time. I'm gonna see if this works for a second and then we're gonna call it done. There we go, make info is running this time. Whoa. Oh, come on. Okay, whatever. We'll look at it again some other time. Maybe I'll keep working on this off stream. Fate says you removed tech info just prior to me asking about it from the man pages. Yeah, well, now it turns out that I needed it. So, boo on me. Cool. So, we made a little bit of progress. I learned some things. I had some trouble, but that's fine because that's where the learning happens. So, maybe now I'll be able to be a little bit more prepared for trying to package some more things for Void. Clearly, there's a lot of work to be done to get the necessary Guile 3 libraries set up for getting Guix packaged and then everything to a state where it could be contributed back. Though I am skeptical of whether I can get it merged as a PR just because it's complicated, all the stuff. There's a lot of libraries and dependencies involved, especially with other existing programs in the Void packages repo. So, anywho, thanks Mitor for being here. I appreciate your help. I'm happy you stopped by. So, don't know what we'll do next week, but keep an eye out on the forum and the IRC and Mastodon, fossadon.org/davidwill, whatever it is, and you'll hear about it first. Mitor says, be a bit more optimistic. I believe it can be merged. I know that Leah wants to see Guile 3 and Guix in the repo. So if Leah wants to see it, I imagine that it can get merged. So I think that there's a chance. It's going to take some work, and I'll have to be a little bit more persistent about it to get it through. So once again, I'll remind you, for those of you who want to learn Guile Scheme or learn Scheme in general, I have the hands-on Guile Scheme for Beginners course. The link is in the show notes. And there's a 10% discount until Monday morning. So jump on that before it goes away if you want to join. We've had a good time in the last 2 iterations of the course, so definitely check it out if you're interested in learning Scheme. And yeah, enjoy the links to the songs that you heard at the beginning of the stream, the AI-generated madness. Let me know if you like those and you want to hear more. I won't be making them. Somebody else in the chat might make them. Come to the System Crafters IRC chat, and maybe you can make some requests for Benoit or Thanos or someone else to make a song for you. Anyway, hope you all have a great weekend, and until next time, happy hacking. We'll see ya.